Oh, we've come into Seaton, which was an unplanned stop. So let's see what we can go and find. Maybe an ice cream? Quite fancy the ice cream. Haven't had one for a while. Let's go and find an ice cream. Yeah, so we've got the Jurassic Discovery place there. Soft Play and Cafe, and then Seaton Tramway. It's quite a nice looking building. Right, folks, so we are off to the SS Norman first, which is all the way up, I don't know, all the way up in the Bristol Channel, I think. I'm not sure if we're going to see. I think if it lies on the tide time, so we'll go up that way anyway. But there is also Breen Napoleonic War Fort, which I believe I can get into. So we'll go up there and have a look at that. Then there is a long barrow to have a look at, and that's about it for today. I haven't got a load on because it's going to be a long old journey out today. I think the total journey time is somewhere about 3 hours, 4 hours. It's an hour and 20 just up to this wreck, and then I can really please myself, can't I? So happy days. Alright, folks, so we are at Breen Down, and I believe possibly at the top of the hill there is a fort somewhere, so I'm going to go and have a look for that, follow the OS mapping. £6 all day for car parking, fairly reasonable. There's a lot of nice coastline seaside round here. I think those of you who've been to Breen itself, it's a lovely, absolutely detestably hate it should be nuked kind of place. I'm not going into Breen itself, I'll stay on the outskirts, so I'll catch you in a bit. Yeah, why I said it was a Napoleonic fort, I don't really know. I had that in my head. I think it's actually an Iron Age fort. So, lots and lots of steps. Not as fit as I used to be. And them stairs. Them stairs were trying. Oh. Anyway. Even the trail runner guy was like, I need a rest. So there's a couple of things up here. One of them is a directional arrow. That's how it is marked on the map. So I'm assuming, because there is a lot of kind of concrete structures here, that here would have been something World War II as well. I think I can actually see a pillbox sticking out the side of there. So let's go and try and see if we can get. It's a brick. not sure what this is. I'm assuming it is some kind of battery, some kind of observation post. Looks over Weston-super-Mare and all of this part here. I don't think it's World War II. Yeah, it did look like, yeah, so these are going to have to have been emplacements. So these are brick. And on the floors there is mounting points. You can see the mounting points there, and then these would look over here. So I'm wondering whether there would have been large guns mounted upon these. Well, that's intriguing. That is intriguing. Always good to have a little wander off the beaten path. Yeah, fantastic views from up here. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. I need to do a bit more history searching on this particular point here and find out a bit more about the use of it. So there we have fantastic countryside and seaside. Breen is all the way in the distance there, and right down there is where the van is parked, and that's where we've come back from. So let's double round, go back. Alright, so what we have here, I hope you can make it out, is this is a directional arrow. So you can see it goes off, and you can see one part come down there. And this was to guide bombers, or fighter aircraft, or planes. Obviously it wouldn't be overgrown with all of this. It would be quite visible, I would imagine, maybe. And then we have a little kind of observation post up there, so let's go and have a look at that. Yeah, I would imagine that it's been possibly filled in, maybe, or collapsed upon itself. I'm not entirely sure. If looking at it, I think it's been dismantled to a degree, and then this possibly sat up so it was a lot higher at the time, but maybe this was the kind of observation point for all of this as well. And then maybe another spotlight there. I do apologise for my heavy breathing. It's not a sexy phone call. It's just a mid-40s man who's about to die walking up a hill. There we go. Fantastic. And there is Breen Down Fort. Come here. Come here. One of the many batteries that are here. Fantastic that it's open. Original steel structures on the windows. This way. Wow. I think this is my first Napoleonic fort that I've been into. So built at that kind of Napoleonic period, and occupied up until 1901, and then during the outbreak of World War II it was again reoccupied. So there are passages that go underground. Boy, would I like to get access to them. I think it doesn't go very far, and it turns off to the right. So maybe some kind of storage. We have a point here for a gun and what looks like a track so that you can turn it round. In gunpowder magazine, so where the gunpowder would have been stored. So deep in the bowels of this kind of prominent tree. Stay there right now. That's where all the gunpowder would have been stored in these points here. There's quite a lot more hidden that you can't get to, unfortunately. Yeah, another emplacement by the looks of it here. And there are points on the walls where I would imagine that something was tethered down. Maybe the gun was tethered down, or there's some kind of point where it was tethered down. And again, another kind of section that goes off and round to the corner. I wonder where that went. It looks like down there is something that you would roll in and out and mount on the platform there. There is definitely tracks when they stop at the bottom of these steps. So we have here this building on the left. It was built during the Second World War, and they were for searchlights, massive searchlights. Oh, that's interesting. During the Second World War, they used this fort for experimental weapon development. Many curious tests. The sea-bomb, bouncing bomb, and the expendable noisemaker. Well, that's interesting. So there's a lot going on here then. And I was correct that it has been in occupation since at least the Bronze Age. So yeah, a lot going on here, a lot going on. Let's carry on and having a bit more of a wander. So the mounting point for the searchlight. You can see how massive the bolts are. I don't have a socket big enough to fit that. And then all these little kind of points around the edges here, which may have been for storage of some kind. I think from memory, these tend to be for armaments or like ammunition maybe, and they're stored out the way behind steel doors. So maybe there was a gun here at some point as well, a big flak gun. And you had these two, because what you had as well was big massive doors, steel doors going into it, and then some kind of enclosed entranceway as well. So there was two steel doors as you went in, then stuff stored under. I think that was for a flak gun, if I'm honest. That's what it seemed like to me. And perhaps the tracks that are just off the side there, they were part of the experimental weapons department. So yeah, again, a lot more kind of research to be doing on the place. Seems like it holds a lot more secrets. I think we've got another storage point under here. Oh, this one's open. Oh, this one is open. Oh, it's dark in there. Hang on, folks, let me get a torch. Ah, yeah. So these would have been gun emplacements, so I was correct. Yeah, so there would have been massive so these would have been 6-inch naval guns, and they were enough to cover the Bristol Channel twice over. You can see little Millie up there. Come. No, no! Down the stairs. Oh, she's looking at me, dumbass. And this is one of the older parts of the fort, by the looks of it. Urinal, do we think? It's definitely got the drain hole on the bottom there. Looks like a men's urinal. Showers or toilets, maybe? Right there. Where's next? Currently in the barracks. So there is a fire that end and a fire that end. Over in the distance is a Chinook flying low over green, like very low over green. I wonder if it's going to come up this way. I'm just watching all of the people walk towards the fort, and a kid going, "Oh, why are we going uphill and not downhill?" You have no idea, lad. I don't think people on a gentle stroll out realise how steep down it actually is down to the fort, but enjoy.